tell my kids about it. Tell my sons about this sometimes. My grandkids how it was, back in the day. Everybody after Christmas you found an apple behind a chair. Rat that no, you cut that off easy. He did. Ain't nothing did. And we didn't die. But now everything is so clean. I remember really you found an apple behind a chair. Rat that little low. After about January, you get that joke and eat it. And your feet candy. You eat the candy too. Anything that you found under a chair in a pillow, after it was ate up. But now they drop sometimes 3 minutes, 3 seconds something. Yeah, 3 seconds back then you gotta beat your sister brother get it. Yeah, 3 seconds get if you want. And I mean it was rough, but we enjoyed. You could leave your doors open and go anywhere you wanted to. Ain't nobody going there, no one in the stay. You want no roaches? Don't want them to eat. They don't roaches. I have a few chickens. Y'all remember that? No roaches. They won't want the roaches there. Because you drop them on the floor, you got the eggs. You pick up chickens, maybe they won't no roaches. Leave anything on the roaches back there, but then you got the roaches and everything going on. And our house, you want to take your business with your dog. Okay, go back out there. Let me sell out. My husband looking at me.
Thank you so much for sharing that with us. Now, brother, will y'all share some stuff about Kingston? Because Kingston's been here a while too. And if y'all, whatever you know, could you share that with us?
I might not have been,
I do know, since Will May said, I do remember when it was 4 churches. It was Kinchers, Pope, Hawk and Rock Spring. We did service just once a month. We went to Pope's on the first Sunday, Kinch on the second Sunday, Hawken on the third Sunday, and Rock Spring on the fourth Sunday. And I do remember that right there. But I remember Kinchers going over Mr. Wheeler man would take his pickup truck, come by and pick up everybody, bring them to Sunday school. We would eat outside. I think back Ron then we had the best lemonade that ever been made in history. Yes. And the old sawmill truck, Mr. Tam Brooke drove the sawmill truck, and my dad didn't work on. Had a big old wooden barrel and no big block of ice in there. But man, it was good back in those days, man. The older folks that stuck together. I remember Reverend Thornton, I think it was in Scripture. I think that was the preacher man. We used to get every year for the Bible and everything, but that was our home church. Keith Chapel was our home church. Thornton. Yeah. Reverend Thompson was a good preacher there. We had a lot of old good preachers back in the day, man. And like what they say, Miss Little Brooks were our treasure and our everything there. Back then, like now, you had one person take care of everything, but we don't move it up now from those days. But that was our church. We did all our life, and I guess that's what's going on now. We go in the kitchen, we don't go nowhere else, but we claim that. And all my family's buried over there. My mother, her whole sisters and brothers. No, sorry, Aunt Martha Reed, she buried at Pope's. She was the oldest sister. And I remember she buried at Pope. But other than that, all my family is.
There was a school over there too.
Yep, there was a school there. Yeah. Yep. But I did one little room church. I remember this guy, little Peter Bass, he passed. There were so many people in there, the church fell down. And kind of scared some people there. But he had a lot of people in front, and the church buckled and fell down doing the service, man. Our little fellowship hall was over there, man. It fell down and buckled. But man, awesome church. We've been there, and we done grown and learned a lot from there, and from our foreparents, because that's it. Mother and them went to church, and they made us go to church and everything. So I just thank God for everything. I'll let my brother finish.
Thank you. Thanks for that. Yeah, okay. Will.
Let me finish. Okay, you're done.
And also, I just want to add too, that was my church. That was our family church way back then. And at that time, I think it was the Peasleys, your mom and dad, the Sneed, Robert Sneed and his family. And I forgot the other people, because that's several to find to get stuff. But anyway, that church is where I found the Lord at. I learned that I had to trust God, but it was a school there too, right? If you're at the church, it's a school over to the left, up toward the street, up toward the road. And I remember that school. It was a mess, but I remember that. So that's where my mom and my aunts went to school at there. So, but anyway, it was a good life back then. And revivals, I always loved revivals. And the choirs could just sing. Miss Elizabeth Sneed, y'all maybe remember that little Miss Elizabeth Sneed. She could sing, and Cousin Mary Sneed, she could sing. Oh my goodness. My mom and my dad, they were in the choir. I guess that's why I like to sing today. Hearing them sing. But anyway, life was really good back then. And I'm going to tell you something. It was good. But I don't want to go back there. Because I like being warm in the winter. I like being cool. I like driving around in my little Mercedes. I like riding in whatever I'm going to ride in. I like the blessings that God has given to me. So that's why I want to encourage people. It's not so much where you are, where you're from. It's where you're going. If you got a good hindsight of where you're going, you can pretty much have a good plan, but no plan, if you don't have a plan for life, you're planning to fail. You got a good plan for life. That's why I tell young kids, you train your children right, train them up well, and teach them to take chances. You gotta take chances. If I had not taken a chance, my friend, and how I got to New York, my teacher, Miss Addie King, she taught all of us in school. Well, her daughter had been in a car wreck in New York. That's how I got to New York. I went to help her take care of her kids, their kids. And at that time, she was working on her PhD in sociology. And the next time I come here, I'm going to call her. She lives in Maryland now. She's 95. I'm going to call her so she can give some input, because at that age, the house is still there. They don't own it no more. But the house is there, and every time I talk with her, she wants to know, well, Ruth, how was our house, Lord? I said, still looks the same. But there are a lot of history here. And I agree, we have made it.
Yes.
If the slaves walked down this street here, and there were slaves walking down this street, it was a dirt street at that time, and the slave masters would not let them have clothes on, just something thinner than this. As a matter of fact, the book that I was telling you about on the last podcast that we did, the book was called My People Don't Want Me to Know by Fran Brody. And they were going around interviewing slaves in this area at that time. And the person that they were interviewing said that the slave owners would come through and they would not let the slaves have on just a thin piece of clothing, just thin clothes. And the book said women, you could see through the little dresses. Cold winter time, and every winter since then, since I read the book, which is 5 or 6 years ago, when I come down to Franklinton, I think about those slaves. But then I think about how God gives us resilience. He took care of those slaves. And when their time came for them to die, he allowed them to go to sleep. But when Jesus comes again, they're going to be in that first resurrection because they survived and they had something to live for. As a matter of fact, if they hadn't walked up and down that street, we wouldn't be sitting here. If somebody had not sacrificed a life for here in Franklinton, we would not be sitting here. We'd be sitting someplace else. But I just want to thank Corey, Mr. Corey. I just want to thank you for allowing me to come here today. Because when I first moved back from New York, this was a white-owned business. Now I can look at you and see your brown, dark-skinned, brown, good-looking guy that owned a business and worked hard for it. And I know when I worked at Murdoch, we had problems with our car. We would come down